Ahem. Good morning, good morning. It's the Last Minute Laura show. Good morning, good morning. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I did green makeup today in honor of the date. It is April 20th, and since I can't partake right now in the celebrations, I did green makeup to give me a little bit of a support to the community. Unfortunately, green makeup does highlight all of the redness in my skin, which is, I didn't plan on that. I didn't think about that, so I feel like I can see all my blemishes today, but it's fine. We're gonna just move past it, but happy 420 to those of you who are partaking and celebrating, and to those of you who aren't, good. I'm happy for you. If you could send me some of that strength today, that would be much appreciated. However, even though I'm not going to be participating today, I would like to do something creative. I feel like we could do some creative stuff today. I made the title that we were going to do some knitting, and like, we totally can, but I'm feeling like painting. I feel like painting. So you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think, if we should bother with painting today, or if we should just knit and be good, like a bunch of good knitter folk. Don't you think? That's what I think. We'll see though. Okay, hold on. Why are you still offline? Twitch is still offline? Me neither. Twitch is not showing up, but Facebook and YouTube are. I didn't.
Twitch for a sec, please?
Yeah, it's open.
Refresh.
I just did that.
Oh, it's showing up it right. That's interesting.
Weird.
Maybe the key got changed somehow.
I didn't change it this time.
It's okay. Can't really reset it because then you'll be resetting everything.
Right.
Sorry.
That's okay. Can't do anything about it today. I'm gonna exit out of Twitch then, since it's not live. Because I'm not gonna deal with it if it's not there. And then I can leave YouTube and Facebook open for those who are on Facebook watching. Good morning. Melissa, if you feel like painting, I say paint. I do want to finish that dang sweater, or sweater vest rather. But I'm more in the mood to paint, and that's the truth. But before we get all into that, I want to tell you some of the fun stuff I did this weekend, because I had a very exciting thing happen. I went to a lady's house to buy some dahlias from her. I don't know why my lipstick today, it's sticking to my teeth, so every time I come down, she's not glossy this morning. Okay, so, sorry, I'm gonna probably be fudging around with my lashes for a few minutes, just because I haven't worn lashes in like a couple weeks, and they are bugging me. A week. Anyway, neither here nor there. On the weekend, I found a lady on Facebook who was selling dahlia seedlings for $1 each, and they were pom-pom dahlias, and it's just assorted pom-pom dahlias from her flowers, from her flowers, from her flowers. So they're seedlings from seeds that she's been collecting, and she has like a flower farm. I thought we were just going to someone's house, and we were. I didn't realize it was a house that I've driven by a million times in the summer, and every time I've driven by it, oh my gosh, we should stop and tell them how beautiful their garden is. I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. And now we got some glitch. All right, I'll be back in 2 minutes when the glitch stops, all right? Go get your coffee. Alrighty then, let's hope that this works now. Sorry everybody, that's just what happens here at the Last Minute Laura Morning Show. Occasionally we have the drama of aged technology. So we can do some painting today if you guys are feeling up for it. Melissa, it's literally all it took is you being like, you should paint. And I'm like, I agree with you. Great suggestion. Okay, bird feathers flying through my house. Oh, speaking of birds, I'm going to tell my story in a minute. Speaking of birds, I'm working with them again. I've been doing a lot of letting them sit on my shoulder as I walk through the house, and we've just been doing a lot of talking and snack stuff. So I think the birds are on track to stop hating me by the middle of summer, probably. We'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna hope for the best, and we're gonna just believe in ourselves that we're gonna get back to being #1 bird parents in all of Ontario. Okay, so what is happening here? Flatten you. Okay, so let me tell you my freaking story. Jeez Louise, the microphone always screws me up. The glitching always screws me up. Let me tell my dang story. So, I found a lady on Facebook, on the interwebs, who's selling dahlia tubers, dahlia seedlings, dahlia sprouted tubers, gladiolus, hollyhocks in multiple colors, just overall tons of awesome stuff. So I messaged and said, hi, I would like to get some not gladiolus, I would like to get some dahlias, and I would like to get some, what else did I want? Hollyhocks. I went over to her house. She had literally hundreds and hundreds of dahlia seedlings. I bought 10. I bought 2 in the dahlia called Summer Bees, I think is what it's called. I'll show you what it looks like. Dahlia Summer Bees. Oh my God, why are you like this? You were fine a minute ago, sticking with no problem. Now you're jabbing me in the eyeball. Okay. And then the next one, hold on, I'm going to just open a bunch of the different dahlias I got. Pawn, assorted dahlia. And now I have lifestyle dahlia. And I have Frank Holmes dahlia. Okay, I just wanted to be able to show you all of them. Okay, calm down, desk. So, if we go into here, I'll be able to show it to you. All right. Put you over there. Nope, not that one. Okay, yeah, that is that one. Okay. All right, so the dahlia that I picked up, I got 2 of these. This is the dahlia of the year, apparently. I didn't know. I just saw the pictures online and I was like, oh, she's so pretty. So this is called the Dahlia Summer Bees. And she had pictures of hers from last year. So that makes me feel like she's a grower, because how would she have gotten seeds for that? They're from seed, like she grew these from seed. Which also, how do you grow these from seed? Can you? Anyway, these are Dahlia Summer Bees. She grew from seed, and I don't know how she grew them. I didn't even ask. But this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. And it's like a little potted, it kind of looks like mums, but, I've been kind of coming around to mums, so it's okay. They're cute little daisy-style flowers. Then she also had pom-pom dahlias. I got 8. So I got 2 of the other one, and then I got 8 of these ones. I think I will give some to my I got them with the intention of giving some to my sister. She just said it's assorted colors, so that's great. I'm not hugely wanting orange or yellow or red. So it's one of those things where at the end of the season, the orange, yellow, and red ones, this will be their only season. The orange, yellow, and red dahlias. Anything that isn't orange, yellow, or red will stay with me, and if it's orange, yellow, or red, it will go to Julia. But we will see, because that's what pom-pom dahlias look like. It looks like it's It looks like finding something that isn't red, orange, or yellow is going to be, it feels like that's the main color that we got going on here, but we could get some pinks. We could get some pale colors like white, or pale pink, pale yellow. Hopefully we get some cool stuff, but they are pom-pom dahlias. I have 8 of them. So now I have 10 pom-pom dahlias, because I also grew 2 from seed myself. I only managed to grow 2 from seed. So I did 8 now pom-pom dahlias, 2 Frank Holmes dahlias. No, wait. 10 pom-pom dahlias, 2 Frank Holmes dahlias, 1 lifestyle dahlia, and 2 summer bees. This is what the lifestyle dahlia looks like. Where did everyone go? Refresh your page, people. The lifestyle dahlia is an anemone style, or hold on, novelty style? Is that separate? Is that different from an anemone? I'm not a doctor, but what a beautiful plant this is. And the flowers are so pretty. I love things that are pink and yellow. I don't like yellow, but I love pink and yellow. Isn't that so nice? How she opens up with yellow in the middle, but the pink flower. Ooh, I'm so excited for this one. I love pink and yellow together. Look how cute that is. That's gonna look great. And then Frank Holmes is just a teeny tiny ball, so a pom-pom dahlia variety in like a purpley color. So hopefully we are going to end up with purple, pink, yellow, and this one's pink and yellow too, which I thought would be great with the lifestyle dahlia. Let me see if I can get more pictures of it. So here's the summer bees, and here's the lifestyle. Do you see my vision? Do you see how those could look so cool together? And this one only gets to 6 inches high, which is weird. I didn't know that that would be a thing that I would want ever, but it's a perennial. So like something that gets 6 inches high and it's a perennial, I feel like that excited about it. So I'm going to be really, really responsible, and I'm going to label all of my perennial things and all of my bulbs next year so I know what colors are going where. That's not true. I probably won't. I'll probably just save all of them, and then it'll be like, ooh, what am I going to get next year? This is Laura's Dahlia collection. And I'll just consistently remove the orange ones out of my collection until I have Laura's perfect dahlias. Like how Florette has them, except for mine will be, you know, a little bit different. Alrighty then. So that was what was exciting for the weekend. I got dahlias. Now I have a total of 14 dahlias. I will give probably 7 of them to my sister, so I won't have 14 by the time it's time to plant. I wish they could grow their first flower quickly so that I would know which color everybody was before I put it in my garden, but I guess that's why people want their dahlias labeled. Probably for that reason. What are you gonna do, you know? So I do have a painting that I started working on over the weekend, and I think I think it's looking really good. It's not finished, and I don't know what it's missing. So maybe you guys can help me by looking at it and going like, oh, it's obvious you're missing whatever. Or I could paint your pets. That's also an option. If you want your pet painted. Okay, please don't fall. I need you to just hold it together. Why don't I just get off of my chair? That's also an option. Ugh. Thanks, Melissa, for giving me the go-ahead on painting. I feel like sometimes I just need permission, and as long as I've got permission, I'm down to clown. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's where you went. My big brush. And where did my little water thing go? Oh, I used it this morning. Hold on. Ooh, let me get water. Where did I put the container? I poured it out. Oh, right here. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Ooh. So when I first started watercolor painting, which, let's be honest, it's only been a couple of months, but when I first started, I was obsessed with finding like the perfect tiny water container, and I found this gorgeous shot glass, which for me it's not a shot glass, it is a water container for painting. But it has these birds. Here, let me see if I can get you to focus on them. It has these birds engraved on it. So cute. See bird number 1, bird number 2. So I was like, it's so cute. I love the idea. I'll have this cute tiny little water glass. But I didn't realize like the reason why a bunch of watercolor artists have gigantic water glasses is because that makes a lot of sense. Sorry, I'm just gonna move myself around. Because you're cleaning out the paintbrush each time, the water gets dirty if it's in a small glass. So I've switched over to a medium-sized mason jar. And let me show you what I'm working on. So I didn't finish it, so don't come at me, but I'm trying to do a red-backed salamander. And this is 1,000 layers of paint. I just want you to know that I did 1,000 basically layers of paint to get this to happen. And it still doesn't look right. It looks like a redback salamander, which I'm happy about, but it's still not right. Something's not right about it. Not quite sure what it is. So that is something we could work on. Okay, come on, eyelashes. That is something we could work on. Or we could just start new and start a new painting, which you know I'm also totally into. What is your vibe for the day? If painting, what paint? Good morning, Michelle. Nice to see you this morning. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to decide what to paint. And also, my eyelashes are stabbing me in the eye, so if I'm poking my eyes and it's grossing you out, I apologize. There. Then I can put you down like this. And then I'm in the middle, which is good. And then if I bring her over here, come on over, darling. We'll get there, everybody. Don't panic. Oh, we got a bag. Toby was playing with. Surprise, surprise. How was everyone else's weekend? I'm so excited about my flowers now because now winter's over. Today is a cold day. It's like 0 degrees Celsius, which is, it's too cold for plants. However, today's the last. It's over today. Tonight it's going down to -1, and then it's never going down to -1 again until October. We are done with fall. We are done with winter. We are basically done with spring. It is time for the garden. And because it's time for the garden, I am willing the cold away. And so far, I think that it's working because today is going to be the last day. The forecast for the next, I don't know, long period of time. Why are you falling forward? There we go. The forecast for the next long period of time has no nights below 0. So now basically it's spring for sure. I can't plant anything today, but this week, like probably by the end of the week, I'm going to be putting in a bunch of my garden. I think. I hope. All right, how we doing? Cool. That's an angle. So we're not trying to look at this. We're trying to look at this. So if we come like that. Whoa, hello. Whoa, hey there. No, that's the opposite of what I said. Ugh, okay. Then I can come down a bit. There we go. Cool. Okay, it's not what I was trying to do, but that's great for you also. We want loose, we want lock. Oh, I was going the wrong way. That will inevitably make that not work. Got it, nailed it. Okay, and then we want to lose you. Nope, we don't want to fully lose it. Hold on. Whoa, Nelly. This way. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Everything's okay. I got this. We'll turn you over like this. Put you guys like this. Let me just sort my life out here, guys. Don't even worry about it. We're about to find success here. Hey there, Hannah. Good morning. I'm just on my struggle here, trying to figure out the angles we want for the painting. Okay, and then you can come up like this. Okay. And now this can zoom out because this is zoomed in, which is why it is a problem. There. Okay, so if that's there and this is here, you can't be here. So you have to be a higher microphone today, as to not create too much of a shadow. Okay, ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, that's a pretty good angle. We've had worse, right? We've had worse. And then we want this over here a little, which means we want you a little bit more that way. Good. Good. Okay. Beauty. And grace. Love that for us. Okay, everything is good now. Nothing to panic about. But what are we going to paint is a legitimate question. Earthquake! Yikes! Sorry. I'm back. Everything's fine. Earthquake, yikes. Hiya. Hello, hello. So I told you guys when I got here, but some of you might not have been here yet. I got 10 dahlias this weekend. I got 10 dahlia seedlings from a gardener. She didn't have the hollyhocks ready yet, the ones that I want to purchase from her. So she said, come back in 2 weeks and I'll have the hollyhocks. And I actually will have more colors because she only has advertised pink. I brought her purple hollyhocks because on her ad it said she had pink hollyhocks. And I said, I have hollyhocks, purple ones. And she said, yes, please bring 2. So I brought her hollyhocks and I brought her a couple marigolds and a couple coleus, just like to make friends. And she was appreciative. And then she went inside her house and got me a cutting of her personal coleus. And she said, this thing is 6D or 16. I didn't understand, either 16 or 6D years old. And she gave me a cutting of it. So hopefully the cutting doesn't die. What else did I do? Oh, so I got 2 of the variety called Summer Bees and then 8 of the variety Pom Pom. And I'm going to give Julia all of the orange and yellow and red flowers. And if there are any pinks or purples or soft colors, I will keep those. What in the world do you think we should paint right now, though? That's like something we need to think about. And I don't know what, as you can see from me just mixing unnecessary color of paint. I don't know what to paint. I'll show you my salamander up close so you can see it. I want you to understand that my first layer was blue. So you see those blue dots? Those were the first thing I put on it. I did a million layers of different colors of pinks and oranges, and it's mostly dots, as you can see. Dots and then some wet on wet work. And from close up, you're like, that's just dots, Laura. But look, it's a salamander when you back up. I'm still figuring out how to make this work properly because it's not right. Something's not right about it. And I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'll figure it out eventually. And obviously the background is just like blubs because I didn't know what to do. But I'm excited about trying a new animal. A hummingbird. Okay, let's see, what does a hummingbird, how can I paint a hummingbird? Humming. Oh, thank you. Thank you for not making me type that all out. Okay, a ruby-throated hummingbird. Common US hummingbirds. Let's see, we've got ruby-throated, that's everybody's favorite. Broad-tailed is basically a ruby-throated, come now. Calliope, Anna's hummingbird, Costa's, black-chinned, Allen's. I feel like ruby-throated is a safe hummingbird to do. Now let's see, Ruby. Ah, it's like you know me. Okay, what kind of position? Are we looking at a flying hummingbird or a perched hummingbird? Probably flying, right? Everybody loves a flying hummingbird, even though they're so cute when they're perched. But they're also pretty cute when they're flying. can you even tell it's a hummingbird when it's perched? Like kind of, but also I feel like they don't give us a lot when they're perched. We get to see a lot more pretty hummingbird vibes when they're not perched, or when they're flying rather. Do we need a flower in it, or can we just have the hummingbird? All of these questions in the air, drinking from a flower. Girl, it's like you don't even care about me. Making me do harder work. Hold on. Okay. All right, I'm looking at a picture of a hummingbird. I've got a picture here. So hopefully it's a good hopefully I do okay with the inspiration picture I've got. I've got Google open with a bunch of images. I just searched red ruby-throated hummingbird, and I'm looking at the whole page so I can kind of decide what we do for like what kind of hummingbird shape. Okay, I also need to feel like what a flower is sideways. Are we going with like petunia shaped flower? Because in that case, I still feel like we're going to be longer than we are tall. And then if we're doing flowers, we should give them a stem so that it's kind of cute. That there's like a hummingbird at the flower, right? And then our hummingbird is going to be parallel with our flower and bigger than our flower. So if we have a flower stem, if you can't see this, I'm sorry. Actually, let's do it like we did last time. That was kind of fun. With no pencil, I mean. Just like trying to paint where the shadows are type thing. So first then, if I'm gonna do that, I'm going to just start with like a basic beigey yellow color, like something that's not offensive to the eyes. That's good. And then I can create my stem and flower sort of section. And hummingbirds are small, so the stem is big. Because even a regular stem looks big around a tiny little hummingbird. Okay. And flower bottom, right? And then it'll be petals and like petals coming down. Okay. I understand what I'm looking at, so that's good. Okay, next, in aggressive highlighter yellow, I'll do a little bit of a blocking out of my hummingbird. I think yellow is a good safe place to start with him. So hummingbirds have a pretty good triangle. How long is your nose? Let's say your nose will go to about here. Okay, and then you have a good triangle here. How big of a triangle? It goes small and then it gets bigger. And then this kind of just goes up a little. And then you have kind of a split in half head, but we're just going to fill the whole thing in. And then you're about the same thickness for your neck. And then you come out just a little. There is a beak here, everybody. Don't panic. There's also a beak. Okay, and then you have a very small continuation of your body. Great. And you have a small little belly with some small little feet that stick out. Fill you in yellow. Okay, and then your wings pretty much line up with your tail. We've got feet, bum, tail. Then wings are basically in line with head, and these ones come down to here, and these ones come down to here. You come out more. You come down kind of straightish. Okay. I have a general idea now of the shape of this animal. So I'm going to now work with some brown with the yellow to get a little bit of a cleaner picture of the shape of these wings, because they are going to be brown anyway. So I can do like, there's a feather that's big that comes down on that side, which then leads to your little dinosaur shape thing that birds have. Okay, so that whole first shape. And then we're gonna have feather, feather. Actually, all of these are gonna be nice clean feathers, I think. Yep. Beauty. How we all feeling today? What's going on? Anybody working on a craft with me? I know I put that we were gonna knit in the title, but it's Melissa's fault. Blame Melissa. She said you should paint, so I'm just doing, I'm going by requests, all right? I don't know what you guys want from me. To follow what the title originally said? Pfft, not in this house. Okay, and now this area is kind of floofy, but these are still distinct feathers here. Cool. So there's a wing-ish. Make another nice loose brown, and then the back of the next wing, we don't see as much. We see a lot more green in that one than we do in this one. And then those will be the first one, the second one. Right? I think you're a little longer. And you as well. Okay. So there's the wings of our hummingbird-ish. Now, again, with, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do really basic colors for like what the colors are supposed to be. Just like a gentler version. Okay, so from where the wings connect to the body, there's a white patch, but there's also the throat area, which actually is halfway down the face, under the eye, and all the way down to here. So there's our ruby throat for our ruby-throated hummingbird. You might not be able to tell it's ruby, but I can. Ruby, ruby, ruby. And this is just our base, so don't freak out that it doesn't look anything like anything, all right? Okay, and then we can just get something dark to do the eyeball. Why are we starting with the eyeball already, Laura? That's risky. Okay, ruby throat. You're gonna go like this. In a nice straight line. Oh, I lost a drop of water here. Come back. Okay. You have such a skinny beak, it causes me a little bit of anxiety. Okay, there we go. Got a nice little skinny beak there. And we'll give you the bottom beak. You make sure to be nice and pointy. Good. Now it has a beak, which makes it a hummingbird, officially. Hey there, good morning. Candace, oh gosh, what happened? I had a fire in the building last night. Didn't see any hot firemen. They were on their way back to the station when I got back home from driving the daughter home. Oh, thank goodness that you didn't have to deal with exiting the building and the whole fire procedure. Like, obviously, be safe in case of a fire, but when you live in an apartment building, tell me less. I literally hated every time the smoke alarm would go off in somebody's apartment. It didn't even have to be a real fire at any of the places where we were. We never experienced an actual fire in our apartments, like in our apartment buildings, but we had to leave the apartment for fires. way too often, let me tell you. It was just way too often. People be starting fires in their homes, let me tell you. Okay, you're gonna have white there, so all of this is gonna be untouched color-wise, and then this is like iridescent green. Okay, which means we need to start thinking about shadows now. So I think we should start with highlighter yellow, and then we can just add like the tiniest bit of green into that highlighter yellow. Honestly, we might even just start with highlighter yellow as our color. Hubby slept through it. I love that for him. Can I say I'm not surprised? Men being sleeping through anything. Okay, so I'm gonna start with yellow on its own, and I'm gonna just do dots everywhere because I feel like the yellow is going to help with the iridescence or the appearance of iridescence. So these are not actual like feather dots. It's just to like bring in brightness, I think. I'm saying this like I know what I'm doing, but like just, you know, if we just believe. Okay, and then the back wing has some iridescence. I do have glittery paint. My cousin lived in a condo bottom floor the week after Christmas. She lost everything to a fire. That's horrible. That's horrific. That would be so scary and also so sad, losing all of your stuff. I mean, like, I know it's just stuff and you can replace things, but starting over is super scary. Okay. I feel like that kind of covers all of the bright yellow parts, but now I want to do like some thin lines with the yellow. Honestly, it's probably time for us to add some green, but I want to start with yellow because I'm the owner of this house. You can't tell me what to do. Okay, there. Now let's add a teeny bit of like a lime green. I think this is called sap green, but it might not be called sap green. It's like basically yellow. And then I have this green, which is a little bit greener, but like still very yellow. As far as my greens, I should be working on the other side of my palette where my greens and yellows actually are, instead of in my reds, but that's fine. Oh, that's a nice color. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put this everywhere where there is some green visible as just a base green color. Don't you think? It's a good green. Good green to start with. Well, I'm sorry you had a fire over the weekend, Candace. I'm glad that you didn't have to deal with it, and I'm glad that it did not burn any of your stuff. Okay, so first layer of green is down. About a year after we moved to Canada, we had a fire and lost it all. You never get that smell out of your nose. Yeah, I can't imagine. I just saw a fire happen like a week ago at a local business, and first of all, the clouds, when like a home burns down, it had a home above it. When a home burns down, the clouds are like black. Like it's like straight up black, and the smell is like burning plastic instead of burning like wood, and it smells very like toxic. It doesn't smell like it's good for you to be there. Okay, I've made another green. I'm gonna use this green for my next layer here. I feel like this green will be a good base color for the head. Okay. I mean, it's technically hummingbird shaped now. right? We can't argue that. I feel like that's pretty clean shape. Now let's get a little bit of a smaller brush. Where's my other little one? Where did I put my littlest brush? It's missing in action, so I have to use my second littlest brush. That's all right. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of a darker green and mix that in with our yellowy green to make a little bit of a darker yellowy green. I know I said we were gonna knit today, but thank you for tolerating a change of plans. I appreciate you. And I think it's gonna be a good decision, because look how cute this is already looking. It doesn't even have eyes yet, and it looks cute. You know, it's already giving hummingbird. Okay, I feel like I do want to, oops, sorry, hit the mic there. I want to do a little bit more with the red, just so that we can kind of see it a little bit better. Like down here, they have some really bright bits. Okay, and then I feel like it gets darker, aka ruby, towards the bottom here. And we can make a little mix of the two reds. Okay, and then we can darken right down to the darker red only. Still, like, liquefy it though. Actually, now I'm just going to use this for this part. Get all of these. These kind of start doing it down here. Okay. So there's our rubiness of the ruby throat. Gives us a good idea. I feel like this neck portion, the feathers look like they're fluff. They don't look like feathers, and they kind of look like they have a brown cast to them. So I'm gonna take a really, really like liquefied dark brown. Take all the extra water off my brush, and then I'm gonna just do flicks with this, just to create like the shadows of lines. Because they're like feathers, but they're not like the same kind of feathers. I know what I mean. Yeah, like that. I'm gonna go a little darker with the translucent brown. In the darker area, I'll do it only at the end. Okay, and then this area now gets kind of stripy on the bottom of this hummingbird. I feel like it goes like dark brown, light brown, dark brown, light brown. So we'll do that first. Cool. So that's the thicker part of it, and then I'll get a darker, more opaque brown, hopefully. What other color might it be? Maybe add a little yellow. Don't want it to be too monotonal. We don't want all the outlines to be the same color, you know? Okay, then I'll dab off all the extra paint, or all the extra liquid, pretty much. I want the paint. And then, with my brush, kind of drier, honestly. It's kind of dry. Just gonna do really thin little lines on my hummingbird's chest to create these little stripies. Then I feel like the other side of the hummingbird, like the shadow it gives, is like warm brown. It's still brown, but it doesn't feel like a cool tone to me. So I'm going to use a brownish orangey color, and I'm going to just, from the throat down, try and get a little more paint, make kind of a straight line. And then I'll just blend it out, and that'll be like a shadow all the way along the bottom. There. Ta-da! It's turning into a hummingbird more. We're getting somewhere. It's gonna be, whoa. It's gonna be a hummingbird for real. Eventually, confirmed. I like the colors of a hummingbird. Okay, what are you doing that for? I didn't ask for you to do that. Okay, hold on a sec, everybody. We have you like this, and then we have you like this. Then we turn you this way. This one have to do with? Oh, it's you. Okay. All right. Okay. You control you. Sure. No, thank you. Okay. There. Okay. There. That's okay. Good. Got it? Good. Just wondering if mic volume is low, as I've had you up full blast. No, it was just farther away from my mouth than normal, but I can put it closer again now that I've got this perfect angle for you to look at of this gorgeous, gorgeous hummingbird. A little hummingbird for the day. Excuse you, Beelzebub. I don't ask for you to do this. What do you do this for? Baby girl, do you want to come sit with me? She says, no, not really. I just wanted a quick scream. Mm-hmm. I can tell it will be one of my new faves. Candace, you say that every time. First we have those ones, then we have these ones, and these ones have, oops, not that much more pigment along the bottom. And this whole area is darker. Okay. Cool, cool. Getting some feather stuff going on here. And then this section is going to have some darkness happening. So I'm gonna start incorporating a little bit of that now. I feel like here, the wing kind of comes down. Which puts us into that sort of a shape. And then this has darkness under it. This actually has body behind it also. Oops. It's alright. So that has darkness. Under the wing tip has darkness. Or under the wing base, rather. But that might be shadow. Unclear at this moment. We'll have to find out if it's shadow or if it's actually darker there on the bird. Sometimes I feel like I know what I'm doing, and then sometimes I really, really don't. I want you to guess what time we're in right now. Okay, now the middle area of this hummingbird, it has lots of little stripes. Like it goes, how many? 1, 2, let's see how many dark stripes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 8 right above the foot is dark. So right above the foot, we'll do just dark sort of in that whole section. And then we can just sort of keep going with that down to the bottom. Okay? Okay. Now for the feet, they're basically just black. And we're gonna just be so careful about not accidentally ruining the whole picture. So got a little foot here, and I think we don't even have to do another foot. I think we can just do this one. I don't think we need to see 2 feet, do you? You do know. Thanks. Don't worry about it. We're gonna figure it out. I was just listening for a long time and now I see it looking beautiful. Thanks. You're nice. Although I am worried about once we get to putting an eyeball on it. Maybe we should put the spot where the eyeball is gonna go in so that we can have an idea, because right now I'm feeling a little nervous. So I want to do that so that we can feel like at least we've got an idea. Okay, it's gonna go here. It's gonna be a neutral round at the top, big round at the bottom. Okay. Neutral round at the top, big round at the bottom. And color that in. It's going to be black, but for now, just for the shape so we can understand it. And then just because we're going to be so professional about it, we can take off a dot so there's a lighter area for us to do a highlight later. As professionals, we should always be putting a highlight, right? You know it. Lighten up the middle so we can decide what she looks like later. I think that might be a little too big now. It's okay because the area around the eye is also part of the eye. So I'm just gonna try and fix it eventually, okay? Eventually we will. Okay, so now we know the shape of that. I feel like I need to already fix the eye shape because I don't like it. Okay, so if we have a beak here, let me just water my dark brown down so I can use it like a pencil. we have from the eye kind of comes down like here. And then there's a bit of a dark shape happening. And then the bottom of the beak is quite dark and kind of almost meets up with that point, but not quite. And then it comes into the beak, which I feel like that's face, and now this is beak. Beak goes up until here. Beak shows all the way to here. Okay. And then bottom beak is pretty straight, very little curve. Okay. Good. Top beak, a little bit of a convex sort of thing happening, but we have to be really careful because we could totally ruin the whole thing here. Okay, give you that convexness I want. Okay. The beak, why are we doing it in dark? And why are we doing it right now? We could just come back to it later and not have to feel the panic of possibly ruining this hummingbird. Okay, and then the hummingbird's beak has some pretty significant shine on it. So we're gonna leave some of the beak unpainted. Okay, there. Whew, that's a stressful part of a hummingbird, I'll tell you what. Okay, which we'll put our eyeball like a little bit more forward than I have it. Yeah, that's what it needed. Okay, and now around the eyeball we are going to have dark red at the bottom. So let's do a little bit of that, shall we? Okay. It's about as dark as I'm wanting to go with the red. And then we can use that same dark red at the bottom of these little feathers. I'm not scared of ruining it. You're scared. Okay. More. Very good. Now I want to do a blue eyeball now. Don't worry, it doesn't matter what color the eyeball is right now. This is just so that I can see it nicely on my page. Make it a little darker. You know, it's easier to feel it out. Better. More eyeball-like. Still hard to do. Okay, now I kind of want to get in with some of the like darker, brighter colors, more of the peacock stuff that happens with these guys. So let's do that next. I mixed up a little blue and a little green together here. on my palette. Nice and diluted. Dip off the excess. And now I'm going to go in this whole section and just kind of shade in all of the spots where I feel like it needs to be darker green. Ooh, I just got an email that some US and some Canadian Red Lobsters are serving endless shrimp again. Oh, don't tell Alex. That means we're going to be going soon, because that is one of his favorite things. Endless shrimp. I mean, it's also one of my favorite things, but I'm not going to advocate that often for endless shrimp. Alex will advocate. He'll be like, it's going to go away again. We have to do it before it goes away. All right. We got, oh, geez Louise. We got more color on this hummingbird now. Feeling good about that. Now I want to get the stripes done again. Have to check which location first. Okay. Well, we'll do that when it's time, Candace. Don't be getting him wound up yet. Okay. So now I'm gonna do the little stripies that are on his belly here. And they start around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many were on you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Do they go past the foot? No. You're such a good bird. You're so sweet. Okay, I also feel like the same shadows continue, but they continue in another color. So I feel like the shadow of those stripes continues onto the green here, but the shadow kind of turns into a bluer shadow. The shadow of the stripes. I'm gonna just continue those. Okay. Cool. Good. I feel like we still need more blue to the green. I can use that for just a few little details. Who are you saying out to, Beelzebub? You're already out. And Toby is straight up sleeping. You know? Okay, and now over here, I feel like we could do some more warmth. Up here, I feel like we could also do some more warmth underneath all of the feathers. I have a wedding to go to this summer, guys. Haven't been to a wedding in literally years, and I am excited but also a little bit nervous. I have no idea what to wear. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be whimsical. Casual is not the right word, but whimsical is. So I think we can wear basically whatever we want. The person who's getting married is a friend of ours who, she's literally like a mermaid. That's like who she is, like in her soul. She's like an actual mermaid. So I feel like we could dress however we want for this wedding, and it's like a lot of freedom, which is fun, but it's also like, well, wait, then what am I supposed to do? I can wear anything I want. Like, I'm not going to wear overalls. What am I going to wear? Probably a dress. For sure a dress. Absolutely I'm wearing a dress. But I know nothing about what what I'm going to look for. Obviously, my intention at this point is to find it via thrifting because I am like an absolute thrifting magician, and I know I'll find something pretty amazing that I would not be able to find elsewhere. And also, the wedding will be filled with people who would totally be down to see a thrifted vintage thing. I bet you my friend's wedding dress is going to be either thrifted or vintage, which is thrifted technically anyway, but you know what I mean. Some fabulous thrifted dress. That's the plan, Candace, but I'm still nervous about it. Like, what thrifted dress? What's the look? What color should we go for? Probably green or blue, but also, I don't know. Okay, now there's some brown that kind of makes its way up here into the green area. Okay, this is looking like a hummingbird. Those lines are a little bit dark that I made here, but that's okay. We're gonna try and make that just be okay and make that work. I think we're gonna be able to do it by just darkening shadows. Then that dark line is not gonna look so aggressive because we will already have seen darkness in the shadow. These are not white, these are like a gray color. Which means honestly I could add some blue. Okay, that definitely grayed them down a bit. Cool, I kind of feel like I lost a little bit of the shape, unfortunately. So I'm gonna try and adjust by making the outer wing feathers just a little bit longer. That way these ones look a little bit more intentional. Yeah, I think that'll be better. I think the wings are gonna honestly go off the page, which is not what I was hoping for, but where we are. So we're just gonna make that work. Oh, I don't know if I told you this. There was a building that I couldn't figure out what it was in my town. It was unmarked, unlabeled, kind of looks like an old folks home or a school or something. It has fencing all around it, but no labels telling you what the building is for. And I went on this like sleuth mission trying to figure out where this building, what it is. Somehow I mentioned it to my little sister and she immediately knew the building I was talking about and she knew what it used to be. And I was just dumbfounded because I just never would have known and I never would have been able to find out because it's not listed on any maps because it's like a decommissioned school building. Anyway, after finding out that it's a school, I was all like comfortable and happy about it. The eye is perfect, focused on soon to come flower. Yeah, soon to come. It's coming soon to a petals near you. Anyway, I found out what the building was, which is great. But then I'm watching the show The Boys right now. I don't know if you're watching The Boys. It's a action superhero show, but it's subverts all of your expectations, which is what makes it novel or makes it exciting to watch. These wings are getting worse and worse. I feel like I need to take a break from the wings so I don't ruin the whole bird. Anyway, I'm watching The Boys right now. It's like an inappropriate superhero show that it subverts all your expectations and that's what makes it fun. So watching it, enjoying it. I swear, as soon as my sister had told me what the building was, it showed up in the show. Like not a building like it, the building. It's filmed in my town. The Boys, a lot of The Boys is filmed in Hamilton and in Toronto. I love The Boys, but I gotta go in case you spoil anything. I won't spoil anything. I won't spoil anything at all. I'm not telling you about the show. I'm just saying the building that I didn't know what it was showed up in the show in this season. And I was like, we were just talking about this building and just talking about how it's like unlabeled and whatever. And they had put up like a pretend school label on it. I haven't seen the newest season. Well, I'm not going to spoil it because it's too inappropriate. That show, you can't spoil it without making everyone else uncomfortable because the whole thing is like inappropriate. It's not really a show that you share. It's like trying to tell the story of Borat, trying to explain the movie Borat to anyone. Anyway, my town is used a lot for filming. Whenever you see a stadium, that's like a stadium that's in my neighborhood. And whenever this school thing showed up, it's a school that is no longer a school. It's been sold. Like the property got sold, but they haven't torn the school down and now they use it. Unlabeled buildings creep me out. Totally. Same. And I felt like it was so interesting that I was wondering what that building was. And then it showed up right on the season of The Boys. And I was like, okay, I'm psychic. And I knew it was going to come up and knew I was going to want to know what it was. And that's that for that. Okay, now we're gonna darken this head down a bit with some blue. Okay, and then I think we need to make it even darker. That's really cool, actually, watching $1 Million movies and just being like, oh my god, I walk near that once a week. Yeah, like, do you remember the Netflix show about the Oxycontin? I forget what it was called. Probably something to do with overdose. Whatever that one was, it had the guy with 3 names who played Simba. You know his name, right? He has 3 names. He was the actor who played Simba. Whatever, the 3-named guy, I can't think of his name. That show was also filmed in Hamilton. And where the guy overdoses, it's just down the street. Which is kind of effed up because the area that they did the overdose is literally an area of our town that deals with a lot of drug issues and overdoses. So a little bit dark, but also interesting. Okay, there. Now I feel like we need to get a dark green to use on our green areas as a shadow. Like I need to start doing this kind of stuff here. Some darker greens. And then on the bottom side as well, but not in the middle. So that can be like our bright, shiny spot, you know? Okay, and then I can do something similar down here. Okay, getting a little close to the end now, I feel like. Getting somewhere anyway. I feel like most of this area is darker green. I'm gonna do it in lines. That's kind of good. Really shines a light on the dark underbelly of Oslo. If you need a crime thriller show, I can't recommend Joe Nesbo's Harry Hole. That's a cool name for a show. Definitely paints a picture, if you will. Pun absolutely intended. Okay, now that I've got those first dots there, I I can get a little bit of a dilute, more dilute green, and then I can start to do some of the dark stuff. I'm trying to keep it light in between in like this section so that it gives that like highlighted look. I feel like that's starting to look pretty cool, but I feel like there's like a lime green missing. So I'm gonna get more of that sap green. I just feel like hummingbirds have a bright thing. Several novels are written about him solving cases, even I who can't sit still have read a few. Fun. I don't know why I never got into like reading true crime. That just never. My friend was telling me about a John Grisham book she's reading right now, and I was just like, I've never been able to sit through a whole John Grisham book. I lose interest. It's just like there's so much going on that I can't keep focused. Okay, that's a little better. Oops, a little more lime green involved. I feel like the tail has kind of got a greenish blue hue, right? Start by doing the green. And I'll put some green over here. And then I'll put a little bit of that bright green in here. Then I'll put a little bit of that bright green just here. I kind of feel like I could do this whole back piece section right here in the lime green. And then work with the darker teal sort of turquoise to darken it down. You know? Don't you know? Oh my god, the hummingbird is so cute. Is it looking more hummingbirdy? Do you feel more adjacent to a hummingbird than before? This whole area was a little darker. Okay, and I feel like this area was actually like almost blue. Like it's dark, but it's like almost a bluey dark. Okay. I feel like this underside still needs to be like a richer color, and also the ruby throat business needs to get a little bit more fire engine red, in my opinion. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of my like brightest orange, and I'm gonna mix that with the bright red to make a nice sort of fire engine red. Yeah. Then I'll use that. I have to liquefy it. Can't go in full opacity, Laura. What are you, crazy? Okay, and then we need to, I'm also gonna need pink in here. So with my watery bright red, I'm kind of dropping drops, honestly, to make the look I'm going for, and hopefully it works how I want. And then I want to get a little bit of a, it's kind of pink, but I'm gonna do it as fuchsia, kind of Anna's hummingbird style. Give her a little bit of a fuchsia tone around her upper face. You're so cute, Beelzebub. You're so cute. And then I feel like we have almost some pink over here. It's kind of like an orange, but I'm gonna say it's like a pinky red. And then I feel like you could argue there's some down here. You're so cute. I'm gonna just take a quick sec, move this way, You're so cute. Aw, you're so cute, Beelzebub. You're so cute. You're a good bird. No, thank you. But you can ride on my shoulder all afternoon. Okay. A nice brownish. Okay. Okay, now I think I want to create the shadow for the belly to be like a warm brown, just like a fully warm brown, and I'm going to just believe in myself here and go ahead and put the shadow in without worrying that it's going to be the wrong decision, all right? So we go from the bum to the body, and we're just going to shade it in like it's a shadow. Bum up the body. Even though it feels like it's a really dark color, it's not a really dark color. It's a shadow, okay? It's supposed to look like that. And the shadow can go into the green because it's not the color, it's the shadow. All right? I'm glad we could all agree. Whew, it's very scary putting in colors that are not actually on the painting, you know what I mean? Okay, so now I want to go and darken down the little stomach stripes on our hummingbird. I'm still using a pretty diluted dark brown, but hopefully it's a little bit more. Oh, actually, you know what we could do? Because it's like a shadow. Just do this. Give it the whole way across, because the green is darker there too, you know? Give her like that a little. Okay, and then a little there. And then we can just wait for that to dry for a sec, and then we can add more like detail. I feel like you need to be paying attention to where you're actually supposed to be located. Okay, there we go. All right. Something's happening here. We're doing okay. We've got some stuff going on. And now I feel like I could use like almost like a blood red color. I have this like bloody sort of color. Maybe it's a little bit fuchsia. And I feel like we could go under the eye with that. And also this section where she'd be blending. Okay. This above the eye is still darker than what I've got right now. So I think we need to darken her down. I'm going to use the blood red and the ruby red that I have, a little darker. And then I'm going to just do some dots. Actually, you know what? I might even add a little blue just to darken that red down to like a darker purple looking color. And we can just do darkness, dark spots around the eye. Everywhere where you can see lots of shadow. Okay. I can't see. Sorry, one sec. I need to get closer to my painting. Just for a second here. Okay. Just a sec. I have a beautiful plan coming through here. Okay, there's some more darkness happening. And that area is also all darkened. Cool. And now I feel like I need some like yellow here just to offset the purple. Like I need it to be something really bright there that will kind of stick in between the red scales for like a highlight, you know? It's not really there. It's just the way it appears to be. Yeah. Kind of like leopard spots it's sort of looking like, don't you think? Okay, there. Cool. And then a little more with the dark, bright, perfect bright red. This time almost full opacity and almost a dry brush. That's what I want because I want to do some lines. Okay, hold on a sec. I need to stare at what I'm doing here for a quick sec. I need a thinner brush, honestly. I know I have a thinner brush. I don't know where I put it. Okay, I promise I am painting here. Just hold on a sec. It's gonna be worth it. Sorry, I can't talk. I need to think. Wish I had an even thinner paintbrush. Maybe in the future I'll get one. I think this is the thinnest type of paintbrush. Can I see? Not yet. Okay, there. Now I need to add blue again to the dark side to make it look like we have iridescence. Iridocyclitis. Iridescence. We're looking for iridescence, people. I feel like you need rainbow colors to get that. So, rainbow colors we shall get. Then we get some blue. Cool. And what else do we need for it to be? I feel like we need like a brighter color, like a fuchsia-y color on the other side. Just to make it like, you know, I want to see the birdie. I understand. I just need to make it happen. Okay, that's getting good, getting better. Beelzebub. Shush. No one wants to hear you shriek like that. We love to hear when you sing. Okay, Laura's very own purple now. We're going to use that to get us how far under the beak? That far-ish. And then also in front of the eye. Okay, and where's our nose at? Our nose is up here. What are you sneezing at? Achoo. What do you think you're saying achoo to? Okay. Looking like a bird. I mean, 2 hours in and we're starting to look like a bird. That's a good sign, right? And back here is dark. All back there gets dark in between these two. There's darkness. I'm just using blue. Oh no, I'm not. I'm using purple. Purple shadow right now. Get that whole zone. That whole zone too. There is a brown tail feather. And then the green ones. And then the blue. I feel like it's a light blue that I could add in there. It's like I'm just trying to make it have like some multiple colors that make it appear like, you understand. I'm trying to make it look iridescent, but it's hard. I don't understand. Sometimes if you don't understand what you're doing, it makes it hard to do it. Surprise, surprise. Okay, then we need a dark green, Laura, to fill in that head shape that I have made a change to. Okay. Cool. I feel like the front part of the face on you is a little darker. I'm going to take some blue to darken it down, this section. And also down here. Okay. Bird shaped. Okay. Cool. Now I kind of want to work this section a little more. Work another brown in. Can't go wrong with more brown. And the brown is going to go pretty much all the way down, but I want to make the lines more zigzaggy. I feel like they go like up and then down and then up and then down. Up, down, up, down. Like they're not like a straight line, they're more like a jagged line. Sorry if my voice is quiet today, it's because I have to think, and thinking requires at least 12% more of my brain than just talking. Okay, so that's going to be our thinnest like pin hair feather type things. Little floofy bum that birds have, you know. Not the same type of floofiness as the rest of them. And we'll start up here, we'll go down, we'll come up. Easy peasy. What's in store for this week? Anybody doing anything good? Anything fun? I'm gonna try and get myself back into my full-time swing, which I've been struggling with. Struggling to like get myself to just sit down and edit. So I'm gonna make a really candid effort this week to just get back into it. And just go for it. Hopefully we won't have any trouble with it. And now I'm just gonna have an easy time. Don't you think? That's what I think. Okay, then I'm gonna just darken every other spot in the shadow. There. Then I'm gonna get that orange again. I'm trying to make my depression go away by going to my dad for a couple of days to help out. That's a great idea. I love the idea of getting your depression to go away. If you could, if you find the answer, please tell me. Love to get there with you. I feel like I'm whoa, bless you, Beelzebub. I feel like I'm on the other side of it now, but I had a very not fun time last week. It's a rough day. What are you sneezing for, Beelzebub? Why you say achoo? Okay, and then this whole part needs to get darker. Here's the other side. And you. I'm glued to a screen watching this progress, like when I was a kid watching Bob Ross. Aw, I'll be your Bob. Because there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. I'm glad you're enjoying watching, because I feel like my talking has been a little lackluster today, so I'm glad that you're enjoying at least the painting portion. Oh, that's actually an effect I appreciate. It's like a little bit dry, creating kind of like a hair vibe. It's kind of good. Like this area feels like it's like blurry to me when I'm looking at it. Like, but on purpose, hopefully. You know what I mean? Like I want to just keep making it less and less descript, less and less obvious where's everything. This whole section is kind of like brown. Makes sense that the wings are blurry. I agree. That's what I was planning the whole time. Could have been, you don't know. I mean, I guess you do know because you can see the planning that has gone into it. AKA, not much. It's a hummingbirdie after all. Exactly. And what do they do if not hum and sit in place, just flying? See, I feel like this looks like this is all one wing now, and it's not. This is the back wing. This is the front wing. But you can't really tell because they're like the same height. So I'm wondering, like, I don't think there's a way I can bring the other wing out. I think we just have to all be okay with the fact that it kind of looks like it's one wing, but it's actually both of the wings are both back. All right, now it's time to think about the flower. What color is the flower? If his nose is gonna be in it, then we're gonna have petals that all come out. Petal, petal. Don't worry, the flower does not have to be yellow. This is just our base. And then the petal comes up, and then the next petal comes around and kind of goes straight. Ooh, that is a bright yellow. And the next petal comes this way. And then the next petal we can barely see. And the next petal we can also barely see. But we can make them both bigger because it's a cartoon and nothing is mandatory. Okay, so there's petal number 1, which will go down all the way to here. Petal number 2 will also connect to here. Petal number 3, 4, 5. Good. I feel like this one could do something else. Like that. Why are you calling Beelzebub? Huh? Okay, yellow. Yellow will be our base flower color here. And what color else do we need? We definitely need green. Like that. Hard for me to do a straight line, I tell you what. Okay, so green to yellow, and then yellow to what? Pink? Probably pink. Pink is probably our best bet. Or maybe like fuchsia? I do love fuchsia. You know, like if I do fuchsia on the outside of the petals. This. I don't want to kiss right now, Beelzebub. I'm clearly busy. Like that. No, thank you. Okay, pinky purpley. I mean, it's something. And now we can do, the center can go greener. I feel like the center would be green. Greener anyway. Or maybe it'll be a darker yellow. I don't know. We'll get there eventually. But for now, we can start like this. And it looks like a flower, which is a good start, I think. Now let's get our blues. Make the green more green. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean. Cool. And we'll do blue for the under shadow part here. Okay. Cool. It's very pretty. Thank you. Gonna do some lines with some lighter blue. I've been working in my yard farm. We love a yard farm, and I'm very happy you've been working in it, and I cannot wait to join you working in the garden again. But I have to wait a couple of days because winter came back, so I have to just wait it out. Cool. I have zits on the underside of my chin. Send help. The help I can send you is, don't worry about it. That's literally the help I can send. I've got no assistance. Oh, new zinnia. Ooh, I love that. I'm a little busy at this moment, but perhaps a little later in the stream I can go into the Discord and we can see what's up. I'm making up a version of a petunia that doesn't actually exist, but maybe these petunia breeders can make me this. If you could just, real quick, just come in here and breed me a couple petunias that look like this. That'd be super. Thank you. Hi, baby. Ooh, that's actually working for me. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this. Do. Maybe the middle is actually going to be fuchsia too instead of blue. Maybe it's actually like a purple. You know? Purpley fuchsia. Could be. Okay, and then we can just bring that up. Bring that up a bit. Hi, baby. No, thank you. I bet you there's a petunia like this already. Somewhere. One of those petunia breeders. Probably been working on one of these. I was watching a local YouTuber that I live near, and I was watching her flower farm video, and she made me look on a website of chrysanthemums. I've never even considered mums before as one of my perennials, like in my garden. It's just something that I thought of as a grocery store potted plant that you get like as a home decor item and then it dies. Turns out, don't know if you knew this, but people keep chrysanthemums forever. Like people keep them as a perennial in their yard. So I didn't know this. So then obviously I went onto the website that she mentioned that she uses for her chrysanthemums. And then I found that chrysanthemums come in a very wide variety of shapes, colors. Some of them look like dahlias, some of them look like zinnias, some of them look like daisies. It just sort of depends on the cultivar and whatnot. And I didn't know that before this video I watched, and now I'm like, this woman? At first I was like, wow, thank you so much for teaching me this information. Now I have a new flower to look at. And then after looking for like half an hour, I was like, damn this lady. She got me into a whole new variety of plants that I'm not even started growing yet. The only chrysanthemums I've ever seen are the grocery store kind, and now I want to like get into chrysanthemums. Ma'am, what are we doing here? That's what it felt like. There's an edible version too of chrysanthemums. I think that must be calendula, no? Edible chrysanthemum? That sounds like it would be a calendula because they look like a chrysanthemum, even though they are in fact not. All right. There's my pink and yellow and purple, apparently, petunia. There's my hummingbird. I need to get more of a black eyeball going. Ooh, I watch her. I know where she lives. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It feels like her place would be pretty findable if you know the zone. Okay, I need to get close to my flower, or to my little hummingbird again to do the eyeball. Okay. I don't know why I'm trying to do this in paint instead of just getting out a pen, doing it in pen, but here we are. All right, there's how far I think I'm able to go to make this hummingbird look real. This is as realistic as I think I can do. I'll just do a couple extra dark lines for vibes, a vibes-based hummingbird, if you will. Okay. Ta-da! My name is Laura, and I painted this hummingbird with his little tongue drinking the little flower. I feel like the middle of that flower needs to get way darker now. Hold on, I was almost done, but now we need to revisit. Revisit our dark purple. Okay, and then a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and just do the middle. There. Screwed up a little bit. That's okay. We'll fix it. It's gonna be fine. Cool. Love, 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 love it. I'm glad you love it, Candace. Thank you. Okay. I have to pee. Done. Hummingbird painting finished. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'll turn the music up and I'll be back in 2 minutes. It's fine. It's fine. I've just been talking to myself quietly. Don't even worry about it. I was just writing out what I wrote. What dates these are from. Sunday, April 19, 2026. And my name, Redback Salamander, not finished, versus Ruby-throated Hummingbird, more finished. So let's try and work on this. Maybe you guys can help me figure out what's missing or what's wrong with it. I feel like it's something to do with the contrast. Like, I feel like it's too gray. The black is not black enough, maybe? Like, do you see? Can you tell what's wrong with it by looking at it? Because that was the problem I was having, is I can't tell what's wrong with it, but I can tell something's wrong with it. And then I'm like, is the background too blue? I kind of screwed that up. I can't fix that now. So then I'm like, do I go in with a pencil crayon and do some shading with that to see if that does what I want? Do I go in with a pen and just outline everything? Maybe I want to see it outlined, like the fish. But I don't really know what the issue is. What do you think it is, in your opinion? Like, what I want to do is go in with my black pen, but that seems risky, and it seems like it could end absolutely in disaster. Another option, I could go in with a bigger brush and just a shadow color to do something to make the shadows look a little more red, maybe, is the problem. I feel like it doesn't have enough red. It's a redback salamander. I'm aware this looks yellow, or orange rather, but it's because it looks orange, like this type of salamander. But maybe we need to add a little more red, at least on top. It doesn't have to be opaque, but like shadow it to be a little bit more red. Then we could end up with like a more realistic looking lizard. It's not a lizard, but you know what I mean. Like, this whole area, it feels like it's not fully saturated properly. But I don't know exactly the problem, so it's making it hard. I adore that print, thank you. I just don't know what he needs. And I think it has to do with saturation. Like, I think he's too translucent here. Like, he's too the same color. He's missing some tones, and I don't know, maybe purple? Maybe I need to go in with purple around the lower part of his tummy to opacify him a little better. I feel like he's missing something important in his color scheme, and I don't know exactly what, but I think it has to do with opacity and darkness. I don't think he has enough of either of those two things. Like, if I take this and just kind of give him a darker wash on the bottom. I don't even know if it's dark enough. I think because the water is just making it look darker. But something's wrong, something's off. And I know that they're not like black salamanders, but they do have like areas that look almost black when you see them. These are the salamanders I catch in the spring. They're usually just living under rocks, if like near a stream or near like some bodies of water, at least where I live. These are very common. You can sometimes find 5 or 6 of them under one rock in the springtime. In the summer, they virtually completely disappear. I don't think I've ever seen one after like June, but before June, I definitely have. Do you have any copper? I do have copper. Where do you think he needs copper? See, I'm feeling like this needs to be like more red than it is. I feel like the orange is, it's good, it's correct, that it's close to the color that it actually is, but I feel like it just needs to be a little bit more like red. but I don't want it to look like opaque because I worked for hours to make those layers. So like I don't want to ruin all of the layer work that I did. I want him to be a little bit more, I don't know. I feel like the word is saturated, but it's not like I want him to be. I want him to look like he looks now, just more correct. Don't worry about me, guys. Words are never easy, but when I'm doing something I don't know what I'm doing, words definitely are even harder to come by. It's a little redder on the tail. I like that. I just did so much so much work on the layers of paint. Like I really did go so translucent at the beginning, and that's good. I'm happy. Maybe blue black on the bottom, but it's not though. It's like a pale gray on the bottom. It's like blue black, purple black on the sides, and it fades to almost like a light blue gray. I can darken it a bit, but I don't want to darken it too much because it's not a dark lizard on the bottom. It's like very pale blue gray. I feel like it might be time to go in with like a black pen to do details that'll make me feel like it's like doing something for it. I think that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at one online, red backed salamander, to see what I could be missing on. Oh god, they're so stupid and cute. What business do they have looking like that? So bizarre. So little. Also, when were these photos taken? In 1970? Do we have any closer photos? Any high quality close photos? That would be great. Okay, how weird is that? There's a photo. I click on the photo. It brings me to another website, and the photo is not on the website. What year is it? Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good photos. Ooh, they can be quite red. Like burn my eyes. Show me more up close. Okay. Just for like the vibe. They're so shiny. That's the other problem, is that mine is not shiny enough, which is a bummer. I feel like I could go even more opaque on these sides with like a purpley gray. Maybe I'll do that first. How dark are you? You're not very dark either. Like I want to keep going until it's black, but that's not the color of the salamander. It's like purpley gray. It's not black. But maybe I can make it a more opaque purpley gray. Take off extra water. Like this area here is pretty opaque versus what I have it as, which is looking kind of translucent, I feel like. Maybe that's the other part that's wrong, is that it feels like I should be making it darker, but it isn't black, so it's always gonna look kind of weird because I'm darkening it to like purple gray instead of darkening it to like a black shadow. Or maybe I need to do more with a darker, like a shadow color, like just a true blue shadow on the lizard. It's not a lizard, on the amphibian. A sweet little fella. They're so fun to find under rocks. Even if you don't want to touch them, which I obviously do, but even if you don't want to, they're fun to find. You flip a rock, and there's this little lizard guy sitting under there. And you can just look at him for a minute. They don't move, because if they're tired at this time of year, they're like still in their brumation. or hibernation. I don't know if they truly hibernate. They probably do because they're an amphibian, not a... Well, lizards hibernate. I don't know. Who brumates? Somebody brumates. Snakes? Okay, so I want to make that. That looks better. That looks closer. When you're like more of a darker head. But they still have some of this red orange on their head and face. But it's kind of like in between stuff. Okay, and then there. I feel like even some of this is too light. Are your eyelids dark too? Yes, they are. Even their eyes are not as bright as I made them, but I want them to be. I want it to look bright. Okay, that's actually looking better already. I feel better about that. The darker head did a good job. Okay, now let's make more of that type of a color. So to make that color, I grab a bunch of my blue and I bring it over to my red, mix a bunch of the red, dip in water, and then I take a swipe of dark brown, and that's the color for the salamander. Red until it feels right, blue until it feels right, swipe a dark brown. And there's my beautiful color. Okay, dab off excess. Gonna start filling in these feet a little darker. Again, it's not black. It's like a dark color, but it's not black. Honestly, I want to say it's purple, but like an eggplant kind of purple. Okay. Darken that a little. I don't want to come here. You come here if you want to. Darken that side of the head. And this side. Sorry, the paper is also not flat now because it got wet. Maybe I can give you a little bit better of a view like this. There. Okay, and then I think I want to add some red to the middle of the salamander where I have only been putting the purple. I want to add the red in there. Hey, stop telling anybody to come here, Beelzebub. He'll come if he wants to. Stop pressuring poor little Gary. Okay, that feels closer. I feel like I'm getting closer to what I'm looking for here. I'll show you what they look like after, and you'll be like, you already made him too dark. Because they're not this dark gray. They're lighter than this. More purpley, more browny. You know what I do also think we need is white. I think I need to go in with like a white acrylic maybe to add my highlights. Where is it wrong? Here, it still feels wrong. The birds are taking a bath right now. Or they're deciding that they want to. They're sitting by their bath. I can hear them jumping in and out of it. Okay. Okay. That's better. It's still not right though. This is more like a... Okay. So you know what I would do if I was going to do this again? I think I would paint the whole thing red as my base color and then add on top of red, because I think I was trying to make the brown the dark, like the skin color, but I think it's a red lizard with pigment on top of that red. Now that I'm looking at it, it's not a lizard, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to do some line work on him, but we need him to dry a little bit before we do that. So for the next 10 minutes, we can paint whatever you want. Oh, that hummingbird, now that it's dried out a little more, does look quite nice. Look at that. Pretty good detail. I think we did a good job on that. Thank you for that suggestion, Candace. That was a good idea. All right, next, what shall we do for our last painting of the day? Thank you for letting me paint today instead of knitting. Though I wanted to knit before the stream started, I'm glad that we decided to do a painting day. Because now also I have no excuse to not work today, because I've already done my painting for the day. One painting a day for all of April, folks. Participate if you must. All right, what else could I paint? Let me just look at my inspiration. I have dahlias open. I don't want to paint a dahlia. Ontario animals. Let's do them again. Ontario. No, not animals for adoption. Ontario animals. Enter. We could do a skunk, a raccoon, an owl, a moose, a bald eagle, a squirrel, a turtle. We still haven't done a turtle. Maybe more blue black on the bottom. A invasive species, maybe. Ooh, a puma. Where do we have pumas? Probably BC. Or cougar. We don't have pumas. Cougar. We could do a coyote, or a wolf, or a deer, or a bear. Ooh, a snapping turtle would be a fun one. They're so mean. They're just big, fat, beautiful babies. Okay, I could do a giant, just the face of a snapping turtle. The open mouth of a snapping turtle. That's a little less friendly looking. Open mouth from the front. No, not alligator snapping turtle. We don't have those here. We just have the regular kind. Regular. A dragonfly. Ooh, a dragonfly could be cute. But don't you think a snapping turtle could be cute? They could be cute little dinosaurs for us. He's so mad and mean looking for no reason. But they do also straight up look like dinosaurs. Hold on, I'm just opening. Open image. Like, look at this. Look at him. Tell me that's not, like, kind of cute. It's kind of scary, but it's also, it's kind of cute, right? It's a bit cute. It's not cute. It's just a little fella. But is that the picture that we would want to use if we were picking a snapping turtle photo? You know what I mean? Like, common snapping turtle. Let's just see what else we have for photos of the common snapping turtle. Common snapping turtle. Let's see what we could do. We could do, oh, look at how little they are at some point. It's small like that, even though it looks just as mean as its parents. I kind of love that about it. We love snapping turtles. I found one this size before. When I was a kid, I kept it for like 3 days. I found a snapping turtle this size. And then I was like, oh, it's a snapping turtle. And I remember I brought it home and my dad was like, that's not a snapping turtle. It was genuinely, it was this big. I was like, it is, it is. And then he looked up close. He was like, oh my God, it's a tiny snapping turtle. And then I had to let it go because you're not allowed to, don't touch them. Let's see, snapping turtle colors. See the cleanest, prettiest snapping turtle. Freshwater common snapping turtle. I do want to see what colors it could come in. What options? Doesn't it only come in grayish? That's one downside for painting, is you have to like up the contrast to 100 just to get any kind of color on them. Like, see, that one's got some color. Orange. We have so many painted turtles in Ontario. Invasive. And red-eared sliders. Invasive. Like, I could do something, maybe. I could do something like that. Maybe. You know, look, somebody else watercolored it. That looks like a watercolor. Oh, it's an illustration. But still. Ooh, see, maybe someone did snapping turtle. Really, Laura? Water color? Yes. Color. Like, come on. That's pretty cool. Look at that. That's a snapping turtle. I could try to paint something like that. I don't think I could paint this type. This is where I don't understand yet. I don't understand watercolor enough to do this. Someday I will. I feel like I'm more in this sort of a region. But I want to be in more of like a... That's kind of cute too. I feel like this one's face just looks like a regular turtle. It doesn't look mean enough to be a snapping turtle. Like, it needs to have this mouth, which is scary, but also cute, like a dinosaur. I feel like that's cute too. Like this kind of vibe. I feel like whenever I try to include the background with watercolor painting, it always comes out bad. When I do just the animal alone on the page, cute. When I put anything in the background, when I try to make it look like it's in a nature scene, it never works. Snapping turtle tattoo. I don't really need it to be a watercolor. I just need to see how they look in different positions. And what their faces look like. Like, that's a pretty detailed looking animal, don't you think? Dragonfly, loon, mallard, or swan. A mallard. I haven't done a mallard yet. That could be a good idea. I also don't know what position I would want the snapping turtle to be in. Because I want his face, obviously. But do I want his whole body? I don't know. Like, just his face? Not as cute. Just his face on his own? Still, just like not as cute. Needs the body to make it clear that it's a snapping turtle, not just a angry face. I feel like this is the picture I have in my head when I think of a snapping turtle. They're like looking up with their mouth open. But I don't want the alligator snapper. I just want the regular schmegula one. There we go. That's pretty close. I could work with that. I feel like the picture that I have in my head of what a snapping turtle looks like is not here. It's like some of them are close. I want his head up like that, but I want it open like that. I feel like It ain't hitting. Can you imagine getting bit by this thing? That is a bear trap. Yuck. No, thank you, alligator snapping turtle. I mean, that's a pretty good outline of him. Look at that tail. But doesn't that look way more like a lizard than this? Like this looks like a, what's it called? An iguana. It looks like an iguana with a shell on top of it. Versus this looks like a dragon, a Komodo dragon with a shell on it. Which I feel like it's more accurate that it looks like that. I don't know, man. They're cute little guys though, aren't they? Look at this. Like that thing is old and mean. I actually kind of like this one. I like the low head. Let me think. Let me look at what we've got here, what the space I've got here, and we can see if it's possible. Probable, maybe it's possible, but I don't know if it's probable. We'll see what happens, okay? All right, so bigger colors first. Oops, and now I have to think, which is sometimes a little more difficult than other times. Better than a bear trap. Those beaks will cut clean through and then you can leave. Look at that man lumber. Yeah, he's a lumbering man, this man. I don't know if I like this one better. I feel like I like the idea of him walking, because I feel like that's how I see them more. It's like walking, looking scary like this. Well, you're not seeing what I'm seeing, but you understand. Let me see if I can get closer. No, I cannot. Cool. Nailed it. Beautiful. Open image in a new tab. Make me work for it here. Okay. Okay, let's see what your shape is generally. And we can do that with yellow because you are yellow. You're a yellow guy. Snapping turtle, that is. Okay, he's got a flat head. And then he's got a flat face. Then he's got an angle. So this is our face outline shape. You've got an eyeball there. Your head kind of even goes down a little. And then we can just continue your spine with no shell right now. And then after your shell, it'll be tail comes down and ends up on the ground. On the ground, it gets fat real quick. The tail, that is. And then once the tail's up to here, you have two giant monster feet. But I can only see one from this side. Then your leg is fat. Then your front foot is also fat. You have a huge gobbler of a neck. And then out of the top is your foot, your huge fat ass turtle foot, excuse my language. And that connects to there. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so here's the shape of the turtle's body without the shell on it. Then we could do a shell now, which after the head goes like this, comes down here, comes around. This part comes up and then down. Then straight out, and then around. Bada boom, bada bing. There's the shell. Ooh, that was way too yellow. Too much, too much. Okay. Try and blend out some of that. And then there will be the yellow undershell. Gorge. Ta-da! Here's a snapping turtle, guys. Have you ever wanted to learn how to paint a snapping turtle? Here, let me show you how. First, this. Second, paint a snapping turtle. Okay. So, now that we've got a very, very rough idea of where some stuff is on our turtle, we're going to use yellow as our color that we're drawing everything out in, because the undercolor of a snapping turtle, like the color of them in the, if you skinned them down, no, not if you skinned them down, if you like peeled back the color layers, yellow is the bottom layer. I think that makes sense. Okay, you've got a big gobbler of a neck, and the gobbler of a neck has lines going through it. And then you've got a big old gobbler of a face. Sharp bottom comes out, and then head, eye, back of head, line to jaw. So the space between these two, this is all big, baggy, gobbly, 100-year-old turtle skin. And a million lines like this way too. Because he's so old and gobbly. Okay, and then here, on the back of the front leg, same kind of thing is happening, where it gets super gobbly. Can you hear me, by the way? Sorry if my mic got a little far there. On the front, we've got gobblies starting here and gobbling out a little bit, because this whole zone is just fat turtle tummy. Or primordial pouch for the cat moms in the chat here. Okay. That's cool. We love that. And then this section of tail actually connects to the back leg, because these guys have a big fat tail. And then on top of the tail, there are some really good sized giant spikes. It's literally Godzilla, I think. And then I feel like this region here, there's like some shell showing right there. And then that's the leg. So if we go back in with just some bright yellow, the underside of the shell, the part right here that shows of the underside, is bright yellow. So I'm gonna just do this and change that dark section here into bright yellow, because eventually that will be part of the shell that's bright. There's like a few parts that show that are actually quite bright yellow, and I feel like there's one right here. There's one around the mouth. Looking good already. You get the basic vibe shapes right off the bat. Thanks, Candace. I've been working really hard at understanding how that works, because it never made sense to me. Like, just draw only put paint where the dark is. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't make sense to me. I was like, no, you put paint everywhere and then you darken it. But sometimes if you just like blur your eyes all the way, you can see where the darkest color is. So you can see where paint can go. Yep, don't worry. Oh, I forgot a whole ass leg on this thing. Hold on. We've got a whole second leg. A second leg has hit the... Hold on. I need a ground. I need a ground level. If this is ground, then right here. you've got claw 1, claw 2, claw 3, claw 4, claw 5. You're a big, big, big animal. I would not want to be screwing with this animal ever. I mean, I don't think I would ever find myself screwing with this animal anymore because I'm an adult. But as a child, I was literally often in danger because I would be like, snapping turtles know me. It's different with me. I'm not like other girls. I was not like other girls in the most egregious way possible, let me tell you. Like, Laura, you can't literally speak to the animals. No, but they know. They know I'm not trouble. They know I'm here as their friend. Laura, they're wild animals. Okay, there. Now we've got a back leg up here, and this back leg is over there. You can't see it because it's actively engaged. But this one, I feel like we could do a little bit of detail here now. This is like leg. And then this side, we've got lots of wrinkles, which I should have done in yellow because that's what I did it in before, but it's okay. And then the wrinkles shift to being this way. And then the feet come out, and then the claws are what comes out next. Claws are vertical, foot is horizontal. Vertical, horizontal. Vertical, horizontal, and tiny. And they connect horizontally with stretchy stuff in between. There. At least the idea makes sense now. Same thing with your front foot. I need an explanation of what is even happening there. I feel like that is mid-step. So I'm just going to do like this. That's the horizontal, and then it's straight up. And then you are full of wrinkles. And these wrinkles go here, transition into neck ones. Good, good, good. You are wrinkly. You are wrinkly. In a beautiful way. You could do a bat. A bat is a good idea. I like bats. Who doesn't like bats, you know? Okay, we got a beak, which goes up right away, and then breaks off a little, and then comes down in a bit of a frown. And the frown goes pretty far back, and then the eyeball. We don't have a ton of soul, unfortunately, in a turtle's eyeball. You look too high up. You are too high up, Laura. What are you doing? Let's try this again. Let's get that eyeball rubbed right off. Cool, please come off, eyeball. I need you to not be where you are located. Thank you. As good as I could do. Don't worry about it. We're gonna make it just no problem at all. This time I'm gonna try again. The eyeball is lower. The eyeball is here-ish. Yeah. And we'll do that with some brown. Okay, nose goes up. You're on the downswing. Okay, so here makes more sense. There, that makes more sense for where it should be. And then the nose is right there. Aw, now he's cute. Look how cute he is. I like him. Okay. Mostly working in purple right now. I'm doing purple on yellow. Purple are my shadows. Yellow is my highlights. And these are the knees. So you are like a tortoise. You have kind of a big old knee slash shoulder here. And that's where this stuff needs to curve. Okay, and then also you have a billion wrinkles this way. I guess wrinkles won't be straight. Probably should have thought about that, Laura. A little late for that. A bat would be fun. Oh yeah, that's way better. Squiggly lines. Or like interchanged at least. Okay. Something's happening. It's starting to look like somebody. Okay, now the back area here is darker. And it's darker because there are outlines of scales. Hello. How doing?
Good.
Very good. I'm painting a snapping turtle. Look at this.
Nice.
I painted it.
Oh.
Thanks. Now I'm painting a snapping turtle. At least I'm trying to. Where else do you have circles? Right here you have them. Painting a circle is annoying. Tiny circles. Okay. Endless shrimp. You missed him. He didn't catch that. He was busy. Tough luck, Candace. Maybe next time. Endless shrimp. Okay, and then these are also wrinkly spots. Okay, and now let's just do a quick line on the shell. Because we have scallops up one side, and then scallops coming down the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there is a line here that goes between. I'm just going to make it a little bit wobbly so that I can do scales. These scales, and then these ones. Oh, Jesus, Murphy. Did I spill anything? No, good. Okay. Then over here we have some spikier pieces. All right, and then these ones, I guess they're kind of 1, 2, so you guys are in the middle. Okay. And you. Feel like there's a nice, pretty clean line about there. Okay. Like that. This has like a 3D-ness to it. Okay. And then there, and then there. Okay, and then this whole spot is dark, but you continue to exist. Okay, that's all neck. This is all just shadow. That's a little scary. Okay. Cool. Cool. Starting to be more shaped like a snapper, I think. Feel like there's one more thing over here though, like this. Feel like it would be like this. Okay, now the back is actually where the highlight is, so I'm not going to darken that zone back here. Instead, I'm going to come and, you know what, I can kind of see lines, extra lines. I can kind of see some lines that do this. Okay, so now these lines are for what? These lines are for yellow. This is what we'll do yellow in again. And it's not like not opaque. It's fairly opaque that I'm going to be working with for this. And then this part is where we're going to do the lines. So like on each of the scales, there's a billion lines. I think we could probably do quite a lot of rainbow stuff in these and get away with it. So I'll start with yellow and maybe we'll work through the whole rainbow to get the lines to look just the way I want them to. And again, I kind of want to do the dark lines so that you could see what I'm doing. I think you can see it, but you know, I want you to see it better. But on that side. Okay. Okay, so now that I've got the yellow lines in, I'll go in with like, I guess just like straight up blue. Blue is a nice color. Everybody likes blue. Plus blue can always be like erased into being a highlight. Like light blue can look like a shine, which is great. Okay, so then I'm gonna do the same lines in the blue. There. Makes more sense, hopefully. More turtley. I don't know how these bottom ones work yet, but we'll get there. Oh, it's already noon. Would you look at that? Let's hold on a few more minutes. Let me get some of these lines. There. Shrimps. Endless shrimps. Like, I think if we go through the entire rainbow on these like scales, we should end up with something that looks like a snapping turtle and also has more colors than a snapping turtle. We'll just do all of the highlights and shadows in rainbow, and then we'll do the actual painting of the turtle in the correct colors. But if the highlights and shadows are all done in bright colors, there will still be something else magical. Okay, there. Make sense? Not perfect, but that's all right. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's a painting of a snapping turtle. It's getting there though. That's pretty good for literally, I didn't do a pencil drawing. I'm getting better at not having to do a pencil drawing before I start drawing, and I like that. Okay. I'm exiting everything. We're done here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had fun with me today. If you did, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. It really does help the channel, helps the channel grow, and we are already officially a real live YouTube channel. So subscribe if you've never been here before. I'm Last Minute Laura. We get together every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, and it's a good time. So I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good rest of your day. Don't work too hard. Drink water. If you are someone who partakes in the hobby/habit of gardening, enjoy your gardening today. Pour one out for me, would you? And I will see you Wednesday. That's all I got. Bye. Big hugs. Holy cow. Leave a comment later. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. Leave a comment later, and I'll see you Wednesday. Okay, bye.